Well, hello BAME farm fans. We have the flatbed truck outfitted for hauling liquid, and we are out here trying something I've never done before. No-till. Yay! Woo! Chemical farming! No tillage. At the request of the landowner. This field and another small field are very close to that very flat land that I rented last year, and we're gonna have to wait for Dad to come back. So yes, I took it on, decided to try my hand at no-till. This has been in beans, and you see what's growing. It almost feels like a hay field because I don't know if there's ever any burn down applied to the beans. So yeah, that's a blast. We'll get back here in a second when Dad gets closer. It's a lot of sweet vernal grass, a little bit of rough stock bluegrass, some other stuff, plantains, not too many broadleaves. Just it's almost more like a forgotten about hayfield mix out here. And Dad is slowly getting closer, and we don't want to get too close. We're spraying a whole lot. We got a good mix going. So we're putting on liquid 28 as our carrier, and we're gonna double spray it. We got the chemicals in at half rate. So I figured putting 28 on at 40 gallons per acre will come pretty close to what I need for nitrogen wise, in addition to the starter I put on. Because the owner didn't seem very thrilled about anhydrous, which, trust me, I'm dying not at, being out here tilling this up and putting on anhydrous. Yeah, Dad's having fun on the outside round, getting close to all the shrubberies. Interesting, I've never seen the pump pulse like that. That looks like the big new age sprayers. I wonder if we're having pressure issues. Usually it doesn't pulse like that, and I wonder if that's just age of the pump. It's a roller pump. I probably should move the truck also. That'd be a good idea. So yeah, we're spraying. Our sprayer puts out 20 gallons per acre. And, well, we're half rating the chemicals to put on a total of 40. And we'll see how this dies. And then we're gonna try our best attempt at no-tilling corn into this. That'll be fun. We'll be planting green into cover weeds. I just flushed the screen. We went down, he's coming back. And the screen's set up that you're supposed to just pull out the plug and flush it out, and try not to get too much of a bath. Yeah, you can't tell me dust and diesel fumes are worse than chemicals or chemicals. Probably chemicals. I don't know how cool it is right now. So that's just a joy. But it looks like we're maintaining pressure better. And just some small jitters there, having never tried this. We flushed out the sprayer. We've already sprayed the sweet corn at home, so I don't know why I decided to plug the screen. Maybe some challenges getting the atrazine fully suspended in its liquid. Might have been a few chunks of that. We shook, and I wasn't happy watching it go in. It looked a little thick at times. Doesn't the 66 look good with its tires? Oh hey, and look at all them weights on the front. I mean, technically Ford and IH are cousins now, thanks to all the mergers. So that's just a joy. Now we're doing this a little later in the day. Definitely not much wind now. It's less than 3 miles an hour, barely enough to kind of tickle the heads of the grass around. Another successful pass down and back. Maybe I should move the truck. That would be useful, because it is in the way. Probably we'll catch that on the way out or something. Of course, that's going to be the high and dry spot in the field, where if it's wet, it'll grow. If it's dry, well, it may not grow there. That's minor detail. I am not a big fan of being sprayer driver and filming, and I guess Dad felt more like driving. Look at that ground clearance. The grass scrapes underneath the axle but doesn't touch the rest of the tractor. Sorry, enjoying the big tires. See, we're double lapping. You know, we don't need GPS. It's fairly easy to see the 16 feet. Actually, maybe more like 18, because we're spraying 36. That's 3 Froe planter passes. So to see like that nozzle on the end overlapping the, you know, a little bit on the previous tire track, and make sure we get full coverage, no misses. Because like I said, we got to get 40 gallons of 28 out here. Now we're spraying a mix of Roundup, yay, everybody's favorite weed killer, right? Atrazine, metachlor, and mesotrione. Because it seemed like that mixed chemicals we got, it was like 2020 we got those. And the last 3 for corn are pre-emergent sprays. I mean, they'll kill emerged broadleaves really well. They'll keep new things from growing. I'm not really sure what the weed pressure is out here other than annuals, like winter annuals, and maybe some perennials. Well, let's catch Dad coming by one more time. Theoretically, he should see dampness down the center of the tractor, which that's much more noticeable in beans. They've got those big furry leaves, and that'll really hold the moisture a lot better than grass will. So yeah, we're putting on a quart of Roundup per acre, and then the corn herbicide. The metachlor and atrazine are already mixed up, and we're putting that on at 2 quarts per acre. And the mesotrione we're putting on at 2 ounces per acre. A little bit of mesotrione goes a long way. Let's see, sprayer speed we aim for about 5 miles an hour. I don't remember the number of the sprayer tips. I don't have that fresh in my head. We did the math on that a long time ago. And I can tell you, like if we're spraying with the 1086, we're in 6th gear with the TA back, about 1400 RPM with the pump on the 1000 PTO shaft. I've got all that memorized. I don't have the math numbers on the sprayer memorized. I just know what ground speed we need. Or if it's like on the 2810, it's 4th gear, just about full throttle. Oh yeah, here's that wash. That's not because of it's still there because nobody tilled it to fill it in, but that was caused by a problem the state had with a culvert, and it was dumping water in the field instead of staying in the road ditch. The state just fixed that problem about a week ago. Well, it seems like the burn down is working. It's less green than it was the other day. Still not dead, but it's on its way. Or we just burnt it really, really good with all the liquid 28. Planter is prepped. There's corn in the boxes, fertilizer, and we've added down pressure. Yep. Full-on gravity is going to have to be on our side on this one. And we're going to make a stab at lazy farming. Oh, did I say I meant no-tilling? What? Oh, shoot. Sorry, I slipped there. This isn't by choice, but we're going to give it a whirl. Maybe I'll be pleasantly surprised, and maybe I'll prove myself right and be thoroughly annoyed with how this goes. But hopefully it goes well, because I hate when it doesn't go well. Here we go, full BTO send through weeds and all that are slowly dying. Going a little slow to give it time to work. And, well, we'll make a loop and see how it's doing. Well, I hopped off to take a little look-see, and seems like we're doing pretty good. This is a spot with less cover. It's easier to see through the grass. I don't have to sit there and push it all away, but it looks like we're covering the seed. You can see where, you know, we're disturbing the soil a little bit with the blades to open it up. But we're not leaving seed on top, so we're getting it in and it's covering for what it is. You know, I don't have those fancy finger closing wheels. We got these little blades here trying to push the seed trench together at the top. You know, if this, seeing how this, we'll see how this goes. I may be looking, like I've got little trash blades, whatever those are worth. But to get like a blade there or something, we're just going straight double disc opener to slice in. Now let's get back to it and get it in the ground, and then wait for it to rain. Oh yeah, the marker, the blue marker is just kind of Bluetooth. We're doing this by Braille because I probably need way more weight on the marker than what's available. Okay, who can see the marker? There's just a little mouse trail in the grass from where the marker went. I wouldn't want to do this after dark. And while the road is right there, there's trees, so nobody will be able to see this too well. And they won't be able to see the rows anyways, because they're parallel to the pavement. Well, we haven't lost the planter yet. I shouldn't spend too much time looking behind me, because then it gets really hard to find the marker. You know. Coming to the end of the field, just a couple more passes, and we can't see much. It just looks like I've trampled through an almost hayfield. I see the mark a little better now. Some places it shows up pretty well. I had to pull off my extra down pressure as I just need a little bit more fertilizer to make it to the end. So this will be a little experiment on how much down pressure we really need. Fun. But it's going pretty well, I guess. We'll find out. We'll see if it comes since I'm a little behind on editing, I have the chance to get this clip, and we'll throw it in here so we get a whole lot of satisfaction from spraying, planting, to seeing the corn out in the field and what it's doing. We're just taking a walk out here through the no-till corn. It's been very dry. This finally got 2 inches of rain on it this past week. It is now Father's Day, and they're out looking at the corn. There's probably still some that may germinate. We'll take a look at some other corn planted like the day before this. That was in tillage ground, and see how it's doing. And I gotta find a spot with less weeds, or less dead weeds. We can see there's a nice row of corn popping out for us. Just needs a little bit of rain and we should be good and going. Soil's got a lot more moisture now than it did when I planted. It was dry. Can't see the soil down here because of the moss, but now we can see that's nice and wet. And this is my no-till corn. There's a lot of delayed satisfaction because it is hard to see some germination. Yeah, that's not a perfect picket fence stand. I may have 10% that didn't come up, but let's take a look at this. You know, I got that nice big plant, you know, right there next to that little guy that just sprouted probably earlier this week. And this was planted like May 25th. So I guess we were a little dry. Am I worried? No, I'm ecstatic. Look at that little guy. Yeah, there could be a little bit of variation of when this is ready in the fall, but it's not going to be anything wild. You can see where the wet spots were when we planted. Not that it was, you know, muddy wet, but this corn, yes, I'd love to see a whole field like that right now, but it's the weather we were given, and I didn't play in the mud, ate a lot of dust, and it was wonderful. Let's go look at that tillage corn now. Well, here we are. This was corn planted the same day, or maybe the day before, as the no-till corn. It's much easier to see. Probably got a lot better seed to soil contact, but this field may hold more moisture than the other one. However, we have some spots, and I'm very relieved at what I see because I was worried there. So you see some nice good green rows, and then we got some browner looking patches. Well, let's get down here close. Yeah, that came up this week, probably right after the rain. And then look at that big tall plant. And look at that short one right in front of it. So yeah, there's some germination variability, unfortunately. But I was worried because, you know, in places where there's plants and then not plants, I was afraid these little guys may have tried to germinate and died already. But they didn't. I guess it was just that dry that it didn't try to germinate. And the seed sat in the soil and waited. And this is even, you know, trying to bury the seed. Oh, I'm sure I was getting over 2 inches deep. And I was worried, did I put it too deep? Not deep enough? Like, did I get sort of into more moisture that it tried to germinate and then die? But no, it was just that dry that it sat and waited. So there's corn here. Feel pretty good about not having to replant. And there's one area where there's around the corner there that it looks a lot more like this, that the corn's just coming up, but it's here and it's growing. We'll take it. It's not getting flooded out, and it's still early. We got a lot of growing season to go, but now we're testing our potential. It's out of the bag. So I wonder why the plants are bigger, and I know why. Is because, well, there's a lot of dead grass material on top that's eating up nitrogen, and it's easier for these plants. I'm sure a lot of these ones already are finding the starter. The stuff in the no-till I don't think has put out roots far enough to find the starter yet. Once it finds the starter, it'll jump. Oh, good. It looks green over there too. I was worried because it was a little cloddy way over yonder. It's hard to see in the video right now. Oh, look at that. You want to know how wet it is? Crawdad holes. It's like we're down in the bayou. We got corn and crawdads. We have crawdad gumbo. Well, at least this is how I get mud in the beans, because these things will be a foot tall in the fall. Well, we'll wrap up this corn comparison video on this lovely sunny June Sunday, and we'll catch you guys later with more fun farming action.